me tell you a story about my time in the Holy Land in 2023 in January. My mom works at a church. She was volunteered to be a tour guide host for this Holy Land trip because the person that was originally going to do it ended up getting a different job or something, and so she got volunteered. She wanted me to go. I wasn't necessarily super interested in it, but she got me a ticket, and it was just nice. Very nice of her. I'm not super interested in the religious aspect of any of it, even though I was born and raised in a church. Everyone else we were going with, there was 3 groups. It was a seminary from the East Coast somewhere, and then a church from Texas, and then our church. And the group from our church, it was all women. They were all like retired age, between 60 and 90 years old. This is also the reason I had a Palestinian roommate until 2 weeks ago, but that's a different story. Anyway, this one day, we're at a lecture in the morning. We're gonna go to this complex where there's a restaurant, there's Roman ruins, and there's a couple of shops, but it's like kind of like in the middle of nowhere. And we get stopped a half a mile from like where we were supposed to take the left turn to go into this complex. We get stopped by the IDF, and we don't know why. 2 of the tour bus guides from the other 2 buses, not our bus, walk out, and they're like trying to negotiate with these soldiers. This tour was meant to cover the life of Jesus from birth to death. We were ping-ponging back and forth between Palestinian spaces and Israeli spaces. We get stopped, and this bus driver from the other bus gets out, and she's like arguing. I'm recording it. My tour guide looks at me and she's like, you have to stop recording. If they see you, like, they're gonna take your phone, you could get arrested, whatever. All these old ladies are freaking out. They're like, what are they gonna do? What are they doing? What's going on? And everybody's like, just shut up. And I was right behind the bus driver because technically I was a tour guide. These guys come on the bus with their machine guns pointed at everyone's faces. They check everyone's IDs or passports one by one. They get out, they waste a little more time. They tell us we still can't go there. We get back on the bus. We have to take this other route that takes an hour and a half to go all the way around. I was talking to the bus driver and the tour guide because I was right next to them, and I was like, what's going on? Why can't we go through? And she was like, oh, it's just because we're Palestinian, that's it. Just because it's just how it is. And I'm like, but now it's Friday afternoon. Muslims shut down how Jewish people do on the Sabbath, but it's like Friday at noon to Saturday at noon. On Friday at noon, they shut everything down, and you're not working, you're not driving, you're not doing anything. And so this bus driver is now having to go back through this city we just came from, and he's freaking out because he's like, this is super dangerous. And like, these ladies are not clocking any of this, but he's going like 80 through these city streets, and he's freaking out. Like, he's so nervous, you can tell that he's flipping out. And I'm like, is it okay? He's like, it's very dangerous, it's very dangerous, don't say anything. I'm like, I won't say anything, whatever. Because him and I had like a camaraderie. We'd go and get coffee together and stuff at all these stops. We turn into the complex, we have the lunch. Midway through the lunch, after the food's been served and we're supposed to like go to the gift shops, the same soldiers that were half a mile away, that are still there working, obviously, shut down the electricity to this whole complex. All of the shops have no electricity now, and everybody's looking around like, what's going on? I had been talking to all these people the whole time. I was talking to the shopkeeper. Me and him were sitting there drinking juice and smoking cigarettes, whatever. And he was telling me, he's like, oh, they do this all the time. They don't want us to make money. So every time that there's tourists here, especially if it's like a bunch of American tourists, they'll just shut off the electricity so that nobody wants to go in the shops. And I was like, oh, is this your entire income? He's like, that's the only thing we're allowed to do. We can't, there's like a lot of stipulations on how we're allowed to make money. And then every time that we try to make money, our electricity gets shut off, or they don't let people come here, or they turn off the water, or there was no reason, there was no safety concerns, nothing like that. Every person on my bus was 95, and it wasn't that. It was just because fuck you, that's why. I have a bunch of stories from that trip like that, but letting your country be run by 18 and 19-year-olds and giving them the ability to injure, kidnap, shoot with impunity, arrest with impunity, it's wild. It makes absolutely no sense to me. I didn't meet a single Palestinian security guard or employee or shopkeeper that wasn't kind and nice and wonderful. I met a lot of soldiers that were the most pretentious, mean, hateful people I've ever seen in my life. I had a totally neutral perspective on this entire conflict until I went there. And when I got there, it was so very, very clear what was going on. It was very eye-opening. I think some people would benefit from taking the time out to understand what their life is like there. Have a good day. Bye.